We have seen the narratives for the entire season. It started out with Paige Bueckers at the beginning of the season, where people in the media, a lot of people at some of these big networks, were saying that Paige Bueckers was the Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. And then when it got to the second half of the season, and Juju has been taking over, she's had a phenomenal second half of her sophomore season, it turns to, oh, Juju is going to pass Caitlin Clark's scoring record. And that has been the conversation. Anytime Juju has a great game, people on one side are saying, oh, Juju's so much better than Caitlin. Look, she's actually the Michael Jordan of women's basketball. It's not Caitlin. And then people on the other side, anytime they see Juju have a good game, they want to pull up anytime Caitlin has had a great game.
The world of women's basketball has never witnessed a matchup quite like Caitlin Clark and Juju Watkins. Though in truth, it's not a rivalry at all. Clark is rewriting history, shattering records and captivating millions, while Watkins struggles beneath the crushing weight of impossible expectations.
Couple days, right? That's it. Push, push.
The media has crowned her as Clark's heir, but the numbers tell a different story. Empty seats, plummeting ratings, and a noticeable absence of the cultural wave that follows Caitlin wherever she goes. Is Juju Watkins' relentless pursuit of greatness quietly turning into a self-destructive obsession?
Caitlin Clark set the record, as you can see right here, for the most attended WNBA game in the history of the league. Thursday night against the Washington Mystics, nearly 21,000 fans, including yours truly. Yes, the boys went out for a boys' night to see Caitlin Clark in person. It was incredible. Almost 21,000 fans. The reality of the situation is simple. Caitlin Clark has made the WNBA relevant. Her critics and haters tried to tear her down, tried to destroy her, attacked her fans, made her out to be this terrible person, said all these terrible things about those who support her. And how did she respond? By rewriting the record books. Nearly 21,000 fans in Washington, D.C. last night for the Mystics Indiana Fever game. And I got to tell you what.
The truth is undeniable. Clark didn't just dominate. She transformed the game. Her long-range shots, electrifying highlights, and sold-out arenas compelled the entire sports world to take notice.
There's a lot of players in the country playing divisional basketball. Nobody scored more points in one game this year than you. That's the most.
That's great. Yeah. More to come for sure.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark who?
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. Much respect there.
Talent is being shaped to fit a narrative.
No.
The weight of being hailed as the next Caitlin is wearing her down, both on and off the court. The question isn't about Juju's talent. She has it. But whether this manufactured rivalry is derailing her career before it even reaches its prime.
A little bit, but it still comes down on your shoulders.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been...
This goes beyond basketball. It's about legacy, hype, and the dangerous game of comparisons. When the media pits two rising stars against each other, who really wins? Not the players, not the fans, only the algorithms. Get ready as we uncover the truth behind Juju's struggles, reveal the numbers ESPN won't show you, and explore why Caitlin Clark's shadow might be too large to outrun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This story is just getting started.
Just a lot stronger than the other because of her experience and maturity.
Nice plays at home. So you have 2 assists and a bucket on the first 3 possessions.
Border park play, showing what made her...
From the college courts to the professional stage in the basketball world by storm. Known for her.
From the moment Caitlin Clark took college basketball by storm, the sports world was desperate to find her next challenger. Enter Juju Watkins, a phenomenal talent in her own right, but one thrown into a rivalry she never sought.
They are the most important pieces for each of their teams, both capable of leading their teams to a Final Four. And I'm sure Lisa Bluter thinks she has the best player in the country, just like Dino Oriema says he does.
Well, today, Rebecca, Tuesday edition is the teeth edition. That's why you and I are on today, because we both have a nice set of teeth. So Tuesday is the teeth edition for ESPN.
I love it. Bright whites, let's go.
ESPN, Fox Sports, and even Stephen A. Smith have relentlessly pushed the Clark versus Watkins narrative, eager to replicate the magic of Clark's meteoric rise. But here's the problem. The fans aren't buying it.
Right, there's Clark working around Fletcher. Another chance here for Iowa, though. Sonano, the spin and the finish. Away by Sonano. Get ahead right in the lap of Warnock for two. Deep team. Clark looking to turn it in here in the semifinals. Clark will fire on three.
Up inside.
Clark turns the corner and late.
Strong player here in the first quarter.
The ratings tell the real story. Clark's NCAA championship game pulled in 18.7 million viewers, the most watched women's basketball game in history. In contrast, Watkins' biggest moments have drawn only a fraction of that audience. Even more telling, USC's attendance numbers lag far behind the sold-out crowds Caitlin consistently drew at Iowa.
Caitlin Clark's Iowa jersey is officially headed to the rafters, and the Hawkeyes announced a fitting date for said ceremony. It will occur on February 2nd, which is 2-2. Of course, Clark's jersey number is 20.
The media can shout rivalry all they want, but empty seats and slipping TV ratings don't lie. This isn't organic competition. It's corporate storytelling at its worst. Let's be honest. Clark's stardom wasn't manufactured, it was earned. She didn't need ESPN to anoint her. She let her game speak for itself. Watkins, on the other hand, is being propped up as the anti-Clark, a narrative that's doing her more harm than good. Instead of allowing her to forge her own path, the media is forcing her into a mold she may never break free from. Imagine being just 19 years old and hearing, every single day, that you're expected to dethrone the biggest star in sports. That's the reality Juju Watkins is living. The pressure to match Caitlin Clark's numbers, her impact, her fame. It's an impossible standard, and it's clearly taking its toll.
New lineup to look at.
Watkins, she knew it. She knew it.
Watkins' efficiency has declined, her turnovers are climbing, and her body is starting to give out. The torn ACL she suffered last season is just the latest red flag in what's becoming a dangerous downward spiral.
Won by a ton. She's made a turnover.
Oh, she's incredible against the bigs.
And they won by 85.
Clark thrived under pressure because she built it herself. No one expected a girl from Iowa to change the game, but she did. Watkins, meanwhile, is drowning in expectations before she's even reached her prime. The media's relentless obsession with comparing her to Clark has turned every missed shot into a failure, every loss into so-called proof that she's not Caitlin. That's not competition, that's psychological warfare.
Basketball player that she reminds me of, unless you combine multiple one, compare her to, is Steph Curry and what she does in this game. I mean, to come down in transition, to get to the rim, finish with contact passes, playing in transition. I mean, all of these things. And, I brain trying to think about a women's basketball player I could come up with was the combination of Taurasi
and let's not ignore the ugliest part, the fans. Clark's supporters rally around her greatness, celebrating every milestone she hits. 17. Many fans don't cheer for Watkins' success. They just want her to humble Caitlin. That's not fandom. That's resentment disguised as loyalty. If Juju keeps chasing Clark's shadow instead of forging her own legacy, she won't just lose the battle, she'll lose herself. Forget the narratives. Let's talk cold, hard stats. Caitlin Clark didn't just break records, she obliterated them. Over 3,900 career points, making her the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history, men's or women's. Meanwhile, as talented as Watkins is, she's nowhere near that level of sustained dominance. Efficiency? Clark hit nearly 40% from deep, and we're talking NBA range threes. Watkins, a shaky 30% and on far fewer attempts. Then there's the economic impact. Clark's WNBA debut pulled in 2.1 million viewers, the highest in league history. Her jersey sales? They outpaced every single NBA rookie, proving her star power reaches far beyond the court.